In a town called Nalanta, near Rajagaha, a young child named Upatissa was born into a wealthy family. His mother was named Sari, and he was often referred to as Sariputta, which meant son of Sari. He had 500 Brahmin youths as his companions. At the same time, a young child named Kolita was born into a high-ranking Brahmin family. His mother was named Mogali, and he was often referred to as Mogalana, after his mother. He too had 500 Brahmin youths as his companions. The two families were very close, and Upatissa and Kolita grew up as best friends. As time passed, the two boys grew into strong young men. They mastered the sciences and other subjects of study. One day, they were feeling bored and decided to go to a festival. On the first and second days, they enjoyed themselves and had a great time. However, beginning on the third day, they both felt strange. The exact same show with the exact same people had brought them joy for 2 days. Now, however, as they watched the performers play and dance, the two men felt somber. Why should they waste their lives chasing things that could only please them for a short time? They would have to keep searching for more things, never being able to stop. Kolita, noticing his friend was not having any fun, asked, "Upatissa, what is the matter?" "My dear Kolita, I've been thinking, is this all our lives will be about? Searching for happiness in impermanent things? These pleasures are hollow and temporary. The dances get boring after a few viewings. The dancers themselves will eventually get old and die and cannot be a permanent source of happiness for us. I'm wondering why we are wasting our time on such fleeting pleasures. What we ought to do is search for a path of deliverance from rebirths." Kolita replied, "I was thinking the exact same thing." Upatissa said, "Then the thought we both had was a good one. Let us leave the home life and become searchers of truth. But who should we study under?" In the big city of Rajagaha, I heard there is a famous teacher named Sanjaya with many students. Maybe we could learn from him. The two young men, each with their following of 500 Brahmin youths, requested and received ordination from Sanjaya. Upatissa and Kolita studied hard and practiced everything they were taught. Owing to the huge number of students they brought with them, Sanjaya's reputation and support increased abundantly. Within a short time, the two young men were able to master Sanjaya's entire doctrine. Yet, they knew within themselves that they were not enlightened, nor freed from rebirths or desires. This greatly frustrated them. They decided to consult with their master. "Master, we've completed your entire course. Is there anything further you can teach us?" "Ah, my greatest students, you make me proud. There is nothing further to learn or teach. I invite you to join me as masters of this school. Together we will become famous and world-renowned." "Master, that is not our goal. It seems that we must take our leave." two men figured that if Sanjaya couldn't teach them, then someone else could. India was vast, and if they wandered far enough, they would find the right teacher. They decided to search independently and promised that if one were to find the deathless, he would come back and inform the other. Upatissa began searching in Rajagaha. One day, Upatissa saw a monk walking on his alms round in Rajagaha. The monk was dignified and serene. He was calm and seemed to be in total control of himself. Upatissa thought, "In my entire life, I have never met anyone with such a demeanor. He must be one of those arahants, or someone who is on the path to arahantship. I must question him." However, Upatissa came from an upstanding family and knew that it would be poor manners to interrupt the monk while he was on his alms round, or while he was partaking in his alms. So Upatissa followed the monk from a respectful distance and patiently waited for the right moment. Once the monk had finished his meal, Upatissa respectfully requested to clean the elder's bowl. After having done so, Upatissa exchanged greetings and asked, "Venerable sir, your features are serene, your complexion is bright. Under whom have you gone forth? Who is your teacher, and what is his doctrine?" The venerable monk responded, "There is, friend, a great recluse, a scion of the Sakyas, who has gone forth into homelessness. I have gone forth under him, the Blessed One, the Buddha, and it is his Dhamma that I profess." "Please, sir, what does your master teach?" "I am but a new monk, new to the training. It has not been long since I have gone forth. I cannot explain the Dhamma in detail to you." "Please, sir, I am called Upatissa. Please tell me according to your ability, be it little or much. It will be my job to penetrate its meaning." In response, the elder Asachi said, "Of those things that arise from a cause, the Tathagata has told the cause, and also what their cessation is. This is the doctrine of the great recluse." Upon hearing these 4 lines, Upatissa obtained the dust-free vision of the Dhamma. He saw a glimpse of the deathless. He obtained the fruit of Sotapanna, stream entry. The Venerable Asachi, knowing Upatissa had become enlightened, encouraged him to go seek out the Buddha. Upatissa said he would, but he had a promise to keep first. The two parted ways, and Upatissa went to find Kolita. Upon meeting, Kolita could see that something was different about Upatissa. He seemed to have a bright complexion and a glow. He knew his friend must have found the deathless. Once they had traded greetings, Upatissa told Kolita what he had learned from the Venerable Asachi. "Of those things that arise from a cause, the Tathagata has told the cause, and also what their cessation is. This is the doctrine of the great recluse." And at the end, Kolita too was established firmly as a Sotapanna. They both desperately wanted to see the Lord Buddha. But one of the beautiful traits both men had was respect for those who had taught them or done favors for them in the past. They decided to go invite their teacher Sanjaya to join them in going to see the Buddha. Sanjaya was very happy to see them. "My students, how was your journey?" "Master, we have found out that a genuine Buddha has arisen in our world. His disciples follow his doctrine and are on the right path. Let us go together and see him." Sanjaya became visibly upset, but tried a tactic. "My dear students, leave all that Buddha talk. I will appoint you co-masters and we can open new schools. Our schools will be the most famous in all the lands." "Master, a Buddha appearing in the world is an amazing thing. And the fact that he is near and we can go see him and hear his doctrine is beyond lucky. Come with us, Master. Let us quickly go see him." No, I cannot do that. I am a teacher of many. If I were to revert back to a disciple, it would be as if a huge water tank were to change into a tiny pitcher. I cannot live as a disciple. "Teacher, please abandon your ego. Abandon your pride. What does status mean if we cannot obtain the deathless? Please do not think like that. Come with us." "You can go, both of you, but I will not. I cannot." "But teacher, when people hear of the Buddha, they will flock to see him and hear his Dhamma. What will happen to your school then? Come with us." Tell me this, my students. Are there more wise men or foolish men in this world? Master, the foolish are many, the wise are few. Then I shall stay here and be the master of the foolish, while the wise can go to your Buddha. If you have made your decision, then be gone. The two friends left, saying, "Master, you will come to regret your pride." After they left, most of the students followed them, leaving Sanjaya with almost no students. Seeing the state of his school that was once large and growing, but now empty and barren, Sanjaya became so angry and frustrated that he vomited hot blood. Then the two best friends, along with their group of over 1,000, quickly went to see the Buddha. The Buddha knew that the long karmic quest of the two men to become chief disciples was about to come to fruition. They had journeyed for an incalculable period and 100,000 eons in the rounds of rebirth, cultivating merit in order to become worthy of becoming chief disciples of a teaching Buddha. Before the two men could speak a word, the Buddha said, in front of his entire company of enlightened monks, "These two friends, Upatissa and Kolita, who are now approaching, are an excellent pair. They will be my two chief disciples." What did you learn from this story? We hope you enjoyed the video. Click like if you did, and click subscribe if you want to see our uploads.